最好
It's the best.
最好嘅。
I want my heart full of the Lord all the
我
time.
想我心一日到晚都喺個神之
Okay,
中。
now you're saying, well, that's great, Nancy, and that works
你有
for
落
you.
講好啊，咁樣幾好啊！
But this is what God gives you
神嘅禮物俾
when
你，
you're resting in Him and you're
你
seeking Him.
喺佢個靈之中喺度安靜咧，佢
He
一定
says,
俾你。
a merry heart is good medicine,
然後咧，你咧開心嘅心咧係一個
but
良
a
藥嚟嘅。
crushed spirit dries up the bones.
不過咧，你咧個靈咧壓迫
I'm
碎咗個骨灰咁
so...
樣。你沮喪咧嗰陣時咧，
No, I am loving that touch from the Lord.
我不斷喺度好愛主，不斷同我同在嘅感覺。
If I hadn't have went to that Filipino ministry,
我嗰次唔去見呢個菲律賓教會
and I've
咧，
been looking for healing ever since I came.
我已經追求緊呢一個醫治啊！嚟到香港追求緊
I'd
呢
get a
個醫治。
little, then it would go. I'd get a little, then it would go.
我會得少少醫治，然後又冇啦。
But I was looking for that lake of the Lord.
我揾緊咧神嘅
I was looking
湖
for that waterfall
我
from the
神
Lamb.
神
I thought it was real. Everywhere I went, I looked for it in Thailand, I looked for it in
呢
Hong
種
Kong,
醫治。
I looked for it in Malaysia, I looked for it in the Philippines. I never found the lake.
揾唔到呢個神嘅湖，
But that lady
嗰個 Fox 呢個女人咧，
said, come up for fire.
叫佢嚟得個火，攞個火。
And lots of people here think if you go up for fire over and over again, oh, there's something wrong with you.
如果你不斷去取呢個火，你梗係有問題啦。點解你不斷係第一
When the
個追？
fire's burning, I'm a going.
如果上面好靈嗰陣時，我唔會出
I went
去。
up and I sat down on the ground.
我出到去坐喺個地下，
And all of a sudden,
突然間，
there was this waterfall and it was running
然後
down on
真
my
係有
head.
種水喺度降臨喺我生命中，呢種溪水咁跌落嚟。
And all of a sudden, here was this big lake.
然後喺我360度真係有個湖喺個 Janine Fox 度。
And Jesus said, come swim.
然後神咧就話
Come in
喺
and
我個湖
swim.
嗰度游水啦。
When I got up and went back to my seat, you know how
起身嗰時
the enemy is. Oh, now she's probably going to say,
翻個
you were
位。
all demon possessed, you know, and you got set free.
然後咧，惡者會話：喂，呢度係全部
And I have
魔鬼
visions
地
in
方啊！呢樣嗰樣啊，惡者冇。
No. The Lord gave me Revelation
神俾啟示我，
20 through 22.
啟示錄啊，
Been having me soak in that word
22章啊。
because that waterfall was coming from the throne of God for
因為嗰啲
healing.
水咧係從父神個
And that
座位
lake
嚟嘅。
was Nancy jump in deeper because
嗰個湖
I
咧，
want to be with you more.
神叫
I
佢
want to be
入去
resting on you.
入
I want
去
to
深
be
啲，
taking you into deep water.
喺呢度醫治，喺
And I
呢度
want you
走
to be obedient to everything I tell you to do.
喺度屈服我嘅意，你要
Wow.
屈服，你要靜，你要
Wow.
跟隨。
And I came home and Richard doesn't know what to do with me because
啊
I'm
Richard 唔知點
cooking.
唔知點啊，因為
I'm
我
making
不斷
bacon
喺
and
度
potatoes,
不
eggs.
斷
I'm
喺度
running
走嚟
around.
走去啊 Richard 好似
He says, are you okay?
Richard 同我問佢，你有冇問
I've
題
been
啊
sick
你？
a long time. He's just been good to me.
我已經病咗好耐，我得醫治啊喺嗰度。
And the morning after the conference, the Lord is singing to me in the kitchen and I'm frying bacon.
然後第二朝早煮緊早餐嗰陣時咧，神同我唱歌添。
There's fire in the house. There's fire in the house. And
Yes.
glory's coming
不斷
down.
唱歌。
Glory's coming down. There's fire in the house.
神嘅
There's
火啊，
fire in
神
the
嘅
house.
輝煌
And
不斷
glory's
喺
coming down. And
播
glory's
喺
coming
間屋度
down.。And I walked out of the kitchen and I said to Richard Ken, Jesus is singing to me in the
我
kitchen
同阿 Richard 同 Ken 講，我話
while I'm making bacon.
喺個廚房同我唱歌啊，聖靈同我唱歌。
And Janine told us, she said, don't let the enemy come in and rob you of your healing.
冇，總之好清晰嘅咧，同你講，你唔好俾惡者入你間屋搶你嘅希望，搶你啲歡樂。
Devil, get off my foot's healed.
佢隻腳得醫治 ，Amen。
And the pain would go.
然後啲痛咧就行
This
走
week,
咗。
Richard's been very, very sick.
今個星期 Richard 好多痛。
And I got up one morning and I thought, oh, and then Richard said, okay, Jesus healed you completely, so why are you feeling sick?
Richard, do you?
No, Richard told that to
咁啊
me.
Richard 同阿 Nancy 講，神醫治咗你，你今日有咩問題啊？
And then he came back again and he said, that's right, honey. He said, he healed you completely, but your immune system has been weak, and that's why it's coming.
你知你得醫治嗰日，不過你仍然你嘅抵抗力好低，所以今日你都有可能唔係好舒服。
I almost gave up.
我時時醫
I
完
almost
就
said,
病，
oh,
我想放棄。
I didn't get healed.
我醫完個病啊，又病過第二種病啊，醫完一樣又病第二樣。
No.
唔係，
What the Lord was showing me
神俾我見
in
翻。
Proverbs 17:22, which I already spoke, a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bone. I got
箴
dry.
言17
I would come into
22
church, and everybody would tell me their bad news.
我去到教會咧，個個輪流喺度同我訴苦，
And I would go home and say,
又翻
oh,
到去咧，我就得一個。
so,
哇！排隊就同我訴
awful.
苦啊！哎呀，翻到屋企我就坐低喺度。
I feel
我好
awful.
喪，我唔想聽人人同我訴苦。
And then the Lord said, remember me?
然後不過神咧，到嗰年就話：見唔見
Girl that I love,
我愛你㗎，
where's your heart?
你個心喺邊啊？神會同佢講喺呢個地步。
He also talked to me about generosity.
亦同我講咧，究竟乜嘢係大量大方？
Jesus is the most generous person you could ever meet.
冇人大量大方過我哋嘅耶穌。
And he says it in Deuteronomy 15:10.
生命記15:10。
He says, give generously to them and do without a grudging heart.
真係要喺呢度咧，生命記15:10，真係你做善事嗰陣時要好有一種開懷嘅心。
Because this the Lord your God will bless in all your work and in everything that you put your hand to.
神會祝福你嘅，你咁樣做，冇咬牙切齒去做善事。
Richard and I were talking this week, and
Richard 同我今個星期講，
we are not rich Americans.
我哋唔係一個富有一隊人，
We're just people.
我哋係簡單一隊人，好普通。
And we thought about the trips we've got to take since we've been here. We would never have been able to take them because we worked 2 and 3 jobs all the time. And one time we got to take one trip in America, and Richard had to work.
我哋諗下，我哋嚟咗香港，我哋去咗咁多國家，我哋諗起喺美國，我哋做2份工、3份工，仲要服侍教會，我哋咁多年都有可能去過外國一次。
So when we went on that trip, I went sick
我去菲律賓
because
我
I
有病
worked so
咗，
many hours. When we went on that trip in America.
我喺美國嗰陣時咧，我哋係一世人咧就去咗一次外國，然後去到外國我已經病，因為我已經做到死下先去呢個trip。
And our relatives we were going with said, you'll never make it.
然後我哋
It costs too much money.
同啲親戚咧講啦，哇咁貴，你哋都唔得啦，你唔好去呢個去
My husband
遊浮啦。
puts his hand on his hip and
So
he
Richard
said,
咧
watch
話
me.
我哋你睇下，你睇住我實得。
He's tenacious. That means like a bulldog that bites
不
you
過咧有
and
人
won't let
同 Richard
go.
講你冇呢個能力 ，Richard 咧就實要做到，因為佢個性格係咁樣。
Not only did we didn't have our tickets until the last second.
我 我哋咧去買呢、個去呢個喺美國嗰
But when we
陣時，
got there, we
最尾
got
嗰分鐘
there
先買
before
飛
the others.
不過我哋咧就兜
And they
到
took
快
us
過
right
佢。
to the room and asked us which room we'd like to have over them.
然後我哋去到嗰個地方，我哋任揀邊間房添。
But it doesn't compare with the generosity of God.
呢
How
啲
much He loves us.
神不斷喺度供給我哋嘅生命，亦會繼續供給。
Sometimes I'm embarrassed here in Hong Kong
有陣時我好尷尬㗎，香港呢度，
because people keep giving me things.
因為我不斷係神好多弟兄姊妹，好多人會俾嘢我，
I'm not very good at receiving.
俾嘢。
I like to give it
佢唔係好中意收到嘢嘅，我寧
because
願
then I
俾
feel
嘢。
bad.
我寧願我唔收嘢嗰陣時，
I
我
don't
好
have
慚
anything
愧嘅。
better to give you.
我寧願我俾你，你唔好俾嘢我。
God is teaching me
神喺度教
of
導
His
緊我，
generosity
教導緊我佢幾
and how
大方，
wonderful He is.
佢個福氣幾大。
Stand up.
一齊起立。